Hello, it's Alden, and I'm going to walk you through some of my favorite plugins and presets and things inside this AEJuice I Want It All bundle lifetime, which has all of this stuff, and it's on sale for $150, which I actually think is a pretty good deal for what you get. It's working in After Effects and a bunch of other softwares. I use them in After Effects. So AEJuice, first of all, has this portal that goes right inside of After Effects, and these are all of the packs that come with it. So you can kind of like hover over and get a little preview. So this one has like old film stuff, which is pretty cool. There's this broken glass one, some transitions, some cool retro effects. What happens is when you click on one, so like let's do VHS, for example, because it's not downloaded here, as you can see. And then a tab will open up. I obviously have a million tabs open. It looks just like my internet browser, which is leaving everything open. Here's a bunch of VHS overlays. So you have a bunch of like camera interfaces and distortions. I know that there are like a million VHS plugins. There's the Red Giant one and a handful of others. So if you already have one you like, obviously you can use that, but I think this just offers like a ton more than those other presets do. So I'm actually let me import some video. I'm just gonna download some stock footage from Pexels. Folder organization, also I made this script for AE folders, and if I open a project that's not duplicated from a template, I can do this and it'll bring in all of the folders that I would normally have. So I can stay organized by putting everything in a footage. I'm gonna make a new comp, 1920 1080, sure. 5 seconds, sure. For this demo, I'm just gonna like be duplicating and calling them like, I don't know, comp whatever. So no names here, but let's take a random shot. Let's do this one. So basically how all these AEJuice things work is you choose something you like. Let's do this one here. Have your layer selected and then just double click it. It's gonna open up this little window that has some downloading things, and it's gonna create this folder over here, this AEJuice folder. And everything is going to be inside this do not edit. VHS, distortion 3. This sequence here is the one that was just popped up. And there we go. This has, I chose a pretty glitchy one, so there's a lot of line scans, distortion, things like that. You could pre-compose this and then zoom in if you don't like the edges. But that's basically how it works. And let's say we wanted some text on there too. Maybe let's do the record one. Let's click this footage again and double click it. It's going to do its thing again. You'll notice because this camera interface layer is below the distortion that it's getting distorted too. You can move it above and that's going to go away. You can go inside here into these pre-comps. Usually there's a null object like this that has all of your controls. So we can turn things like distortion on and off, damage, intensity, we can adjust all of these things here, and then back in this comp, it'll adjust. If you click the shy guy, you can see that there are a lot more layers here. They're labeled, do not collapse, and all of this stuff exists in the do not edit folders because it's kind of all built so that everything you see is what you need to control. If we go even deeper, we can get the distortion map, which is just this video here. We can also reveal in project. And this is what I really like about the AEJuice plugins in general, is that a lot of the presets, they have these video textures in a lot of them. So like this distortion map here, I can then go and reuse on my own and use it as a displacement map or something if I need to. So there's a lot of flexibility with, the preset they have their presets and they're really cool and very useful. But if you want, you can also, download it and then go take all of the assets that they that come with the presets and use them on your own to do some compositing. So now let's just do comp 2, delete everything, and let's find another clip. The broken glass here, I think, are really cool. Of course, you can download broken glass images from Shutterstock or something, and you do your own displacement, compositing, and things like that. In here, though, a lot of that is just pre-made for you. So let's say we want to do this one where it kind of breaks. Double click. It's going to download. Everything's going to show up here in this AEJuice folder. One thing about a lot of these packs, and this is kind of true for most things like this that you download, the real-time preview is not the greatest. So I find myself having to turn it to quarter a lot just to get the RAM preview done in a timely manner, just to get a sense of the motion, and then I'll just render out a rough pass if I need to see what it looks like in the final form. You can wait a little bit longer and just do a RAM preview at half or full resolution if you want to wait, but sometimes I don't want to wait, and for the sake of recording this, I also don't want to spend too long doing the RAM previews. But you can already see here, as it's kind of going frame by frame, you see this displacement going with the crack, and this can be really, really powerful and useful for a lot of different titles and motion graphics and things like that. Oh girl, it comes with a sound effect. So this says cut here. That is going to be the cut of the glass, so I'm just going to slide it over and do a new RAM preview actually, so that it starts normal and then breaks. So yeah, you can take that sound effect or leave it, but and now let's do comp 3, delete everything. So here's another amazing pack, which is the film textures. It has a bunch of film grain overlays, which I love to use, but it also has these film sprocket animations you can put on there too, and you can kind of combine them into this look, or have a kind of film frame around it. So there's a ton of options for anything you're trying to make look nostalgic or a little grainy. I also like there's black and white and color, so this already has a little bit of a green hue, so let's do this green color grain. Double click. It's going to do its thing where it downloads and adds everything into your project. So the film grain just brings in this video texture. So right now there's a video texture and it's retimed here. We can use this one if you really wanted to. You can use this video file and just composite that on top. It really doesn't matter, but again, this is what I love about the AEJuice packs, is that you get this here as well, and I can use this for compositing all sorts of stuff in any program that I want, really. When doing film grain, I usually set the transfer mode to soft light, and we'll give that a RAM preview, and there's our film grain there. I also am gonna do one of these more vintage looking ones, so let's give 16 millimeter a try, and so this will have like a frame on top of it. This is just set with an alpha channel, so if you wanted to do another look underneath it, you could also do that. So let's do the old film constructor. So this old film has a bunch of other dust and scratches and little flicker things like this, which are going to be really cool. So if we have this film overlay already, let's add some of kind of like this one. Film asset 6. Let's put that on top. We also have some film burns. So let's do this one. And then this old film also has some film looks. So here we can actually make the footage feel a little more like it was shot on film as well. So are we gonna do warm or cool? Let's go with cool, because I think it already I think that'll look well. So let's do cool look 2. And there we go. It makes a new composition with our footage inside. It did the film look, so you'll notice that it is quite blurry, but we can go right inside this comp, and here's this controls, And we can just turn the blur off or make the blur intensity something much smaller, like 3. I think a little bit of blurring is helped because the digital sharpness is one thing that gives it away if it's film or digital. So we can just turn that down, and then let's give this a RAM preview. Here is this shot here, with 3 different pieces of different like packs here. We got this cool like vintage film shot. I think maybe the film flashes are like a little intense, but we can, adjust that by like turning down the opacity, things like that. And then there's all of this other kind of stuff we can pop in. We can do a different look. There's more types of film grain, and there's a bunch of vertical things too. So if you were doing stuff for TikTok and YouTube Shorts and Instagram stories and stuff like that, it's all there for you. So yeah, let's do another comp 4. So I'm gonna do this digital screen construction. So I did a whole tutorial, as you know, where I created an After Effects script that creates screens, because the process for creating them can be so tedious. If you look at that tutorial, there's a free download to the script itself. It just separates the RGB values and then also adds this screen on top of it. And I'll put a link in the description here as well. But AEJuice has all of this screen stuff as well. So there's these little animations and all of these news graphics, especially when I tell you, so for like the last 7 years, I've been working at news startups like HuffPost and The Recount. And we have to create videos where we show the titles of different articles that were written about whatever, the news topic is of the day. And this stuff is all pre-made in a really nice way that would have saved me a lot of time over the years. Also these like searches and stuff like this. So I made, my little script that I can build some of this stuff in one click. But if you want to go a step further and have something that is completely built, it's all here. So let's do this Twitter one because it has the video. So let's copy this video because it looks like the video didn't drop in there, which happens sometimes with these. So just copy what you want, go into this Twitter, and placeholder 2 is the video. So we'll drop this in there. So that we have in there. These ones are probably going to be, it looks like profile pictures. So let's take her. Let's do time, freeze frame it, scale her down. I believe if we go back, yep, she's up in the profile there. Placeholder 3 is going to be the other thumbnail. So let's go to text placeholder. Let's go in here. Check out this cool Twitter animation preset from AEJuice. And don't forget to keep up with your New Year's resolution. Hashtag Jam. Hashtag After Effects. Hashtag Alden. Why not? So in this preset 2, you see we have some pixelation here on the screen, some digital pixels. There's a depth of field and a camera being animated. So it all kind of feels like you're filming a computer screen. If you go in here and do controls, you can turn a lot of that stuff on and off. And there are a lot of controls in there. Also this moire that you're seeing from it being on a screen, when you are zoomed out like this in After Effects, that moire gets worse and worse. But if you are at 100, that's what it's actually going to look like. So if we play this back at 100, you can see that, there's not quite that moire that we were seeing a second ago. with whatever graphics or effects that you're doing. If you have to go fast, this is gonna save you a ton of time. I love the newspaper ones. Like, I think these animations are great. They're something that I would do, and I know that sometimes when you're working really quickly for a client or for a news company, you don't have the time to make a ton of custom stuff like this to reuse again and again. And if I had had these at those companies, you can bet I would be using this all the time. And there's so many of them. So let's go this one. It's got an image and a headline and some text, so that'll be fun to play with. Here we have the animation. So if we go in here, we have placeholder. So this is going to be the media that we have. We're going to want an image, so let's just take this and scale it and make it a freeze frame photo there, and let's go text placeholder. So this is going to give us the whole newspaper there. Local bartender pivots to motion graphics. It's a little big, but that's okay. We can scale it here, and let's make the text white. You might notice, oh no, we can't change the color. And this is something I walk through in like the glitchy text tutorial that I'm putting together, which is that a lot of these settings are controlled by After Effects expression. So if you hit EE, you can find the expression. And here, comp headline with photo 3, control there. So when you have these control layers, it's just the expressions affecting it. So I think this is text color 1. So if we do it here, that should change. But also if you want to, if you're down here and you're like, this is what I want to change, you can just delete this expression and it'll adjust to whatever you want in this comp. But of course, then if you're back here, this obviously doesn't do anything anymore. So it's up to you which you like to do. Sometimes I like adjusting it here just because I can click on it and know what I am clicking on, whereas sometimes these are a little more vague in terms of what the settings are, and I might just waste time playing around just to see what it is. This pack alone, I personally feel like, is worth the price of this entire I Want It All bundle. Like $150 for all of these alone would save me so much time while working that I think that is worth the cost. This is the Urban Style pack. This just has a bunch of really grungy, textury overlays that you can use. So if we take this one, add it to our comp, it's basically going to be a video file that you can overlay, and that is nice for adding some texture to your shots, especially for titles and music video type stuff. So if you just set it to screen, you can add stuff there. If you really wanted to, we could also take the animated markers, and I'm gonna add some text. So let's add a C, O, duplicate the O, L, like the circle. Let's do the face and a heart. How about a heart? So clearly I'm just messing around here, and I wouldn't say that this looks particularly good, but it does show how quickly you can just start putting all of these assets together. So yeah, check out AEJuice. There's a link in the description below. I've had a good time playing around with this, and a lot of it is production ready and is a very useful tool to add to any motion graphics or compositing needs. And if you want to learn how to dive in a little bit deeper, check out my tutorial on using the glitch title effect, where I go through in detail the process of downloading one of these packs and adjusting everything, but also show you how I look under the hood and deconstruct how everything is built so that I can reverse engineer the effects to decide whether using a pack or doing it from scratch makes more sense based on my needs.